Ready to go live. I think we're
There
live.
we are. Yeah. So you're exactly right.
All right. So, welcome to our live community chat with Nina. I am Nina, and wherever you're looking, that's Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin.
And since this is our first official real live show, we figured we'll talk about what we're doing, which is streaming live versus pre produced video content, pros and cons, and all that kind of stuff. So, Robin, what would you say, just sort of off the top of your head, what is your idea of the benefits of doing live over pre produced video?
Yeah, for sure. So the main benefits for video kind of in general is you get to have a conversation with your audience, right? You know, your personality for a lot of people is why people sign up to work with you, why people want to be clients with you. And that's hard to do if you're not actually on a call or you're not actually talking in person. And talking in person is, not the thing right now.
Well, this is in person, just not physical.
Well, right, exactly. And so that's why video is good in general. Pre-produced video is great because you can really hit, specific talking points. You can use it in a million different places. You can repurpose it. It can live on your website. It can live on your social media, whatever. But the great thing about live, I mean, video is all about engagement, right? You want people to engage with you. And live is great because there's really not a better platform at the moment, at least for people to directly engage with you. Right? I mean, we did like a test intro live yesterday, and we had people talking with us in the chat. It was great.
Yeah, I think that for me, that was sort of because I mean, I've done lives before as a guest, so I wasn't in control or of the the stream that came in of people that were engaging. But for me, that yesterday that was the most thrilling part to know that there were these two human beings. It was two of them, but we also only streamed for about 2 or 3 minutes. To know that there's these two people that I actually know that were on LinkedIn and were engaging with us. That was absolutely thrilling. But I mean, in the big picture, for me as a filmmaker, background, and I've done a couple of live events, but I've always been in the pre-produced video and film, ecosystem. So the idea of having to put something out that I cannot go back and edit, redo if I have a hiccup, I don't know, whatever it is, right? That to me is really nerve-wracking. And so, for me at this point, a pre-produced video is no big deal. I just sit in front of the camera, and if I F up, I F up, and I redo it until, the cows come home if I have to. Live is different.
Yeah, well, and that's, in a way, the kind of like rough and tumble nature of live is an asset in and of itself, because there's automatically an additional layer of authenticity, right? Not that pre-produced videos are inauthentic, but that they're produced, at least to some level. Whereas, like you said, if you mess up in live, like, everybody gets to see it, right? And that's, I think, attractive for me, particularly in the world of social media and everybody trying to look perfect all the time, to get to see people not, you get to see all the ums and likes that you get to cut out in post-production otherwise.
Yeah, I guess that definitely, the authenticity factor, or the real, authentic is such an incredibly overused word. So
very inauthentic.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Anyway, so good. So this is not to say that live isn't pre-produced. I never forget when Gary V was doing one of the very first lives. I don't even know whether it was LinkedIn or probably it was way back in the day. So it was a different platform, and I could see in the reflection of the glass in his office behind him, there was like 5 lamps. There was like 10 people. This pre-COVID. There was like 2 cameras. I'm like, yeah, right. Authentic and not pre-produced, right? Now the guy obviously has the means and has the budget, and good for him. That's awesome. But so live doesn't mean it's not thought out. Live doesn't mean it's not properly set up. It just means that if a flub happens en route, that's it, right? You're screwed. Or not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the amount of pre-production is equal, if not more, because you know that there's no fixing that you can do in the moment.
All right. Okay. Hold on. I'm playing with the banners.
Okay, go.
And I stopped the banner that we have, and I want to. Oh, here. Sorry. I'm still playing, and I love my new toys. Robin can tell you all about me and my toys.
That's right. We just got a candidate from Candace, which says, I think it's exciting that as viewers, we can potentially ask questions and get answers.
Well, then
your life is great, Nina. which I think is exactly the point. And I know that you just put on the new banner, but I'm actually going to avoid that subject and talk about something else in relation to what Candace was going to say, which is, the specific reason why we're deciding to start doing live video regularly, which is exactly for that reason, Candace. We're going to be bringing on, I don't know, Nina, if you want to talk about this now or a little bit more at the end or both, but we're going to be bringing on some guest speakers and some experts that complement the world of video that we work in, so that people can have live Q&A and can get some valuable content nuggets from people that aren't just Nina, right? But people that can complement that side of things.
Great. And I just found the corresponding ticker, which was going to be our last one, but we're not done yet. So don't go anywhere. So I think the format of live, I think is going to be really wonderful to, I think for all of us, especially mission-driven and service-based small business owners, which is sort of, my ecosystem, we grow our companies and we stay in business by being curious and by engaging with our community. So for me, what is really exciting is to take this opportunity to start talking with people who are also video marketers, with different niches, who are, experts that are in areas that are tangential. What's that word, Rob? Tangential to what we do. So it would be, like an SEO expert, analytics expert. We will be talking before the end of the year with a wonderful woman with whom I just did an anti-perfectionism class, and it was mind-blowing. So we'll talk about that, about, we're not wanting to show up on camera because we're afraid that we're not going to be perfect, which feeds in so beautiful with what we're talking about right now. And there's other people that I've been talking about who I all think would be fabulous and interesting, to talk about mindfulness, talk about imposter syndrome, talk about, professional editing. I definitely, wanted to invite people like, Alex Miner, for instance, who's a big part of our LinkedIn group. So there's a lot of really interesting people that I cannot wait to have on our live community chat with me.
Yeah. And speaking of imperfectionism, Jill commented that she doesn't see the banners. I don't know if maybe the word, I don't know if you actually can't see it, Jill, or if the word banner is misleading. When we say banner, we're referring to like the little ticker tape message that's running at the bottom of the screen.
Oh yeah, Bryn took care of it.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Thank you, Bryn. So Bryn, we'll invite Bryn of course as well. She's part of our team, and she's our amazing, amazing social media maven and so much more. She's one of those people you just think that you need something to get done, and then it's done miraculously. She's a miracle worker. So we'll definitely, and she just took care of the question in the background. So thank you, Bryn. So Robin, I'm going back to the banners if you're keeping an eye on the comments. So let's, actually number 2 we already covered. Let's go into nerves and hiccups. So yesterday, when we did our little announcement live stream, which was all of 3 minutes, I was I was so nervous. I was like, and then once the first comment came in, and I was like, oh my God, there's real people there. It was actually really cool. So now I'm excited. What about, Robin, you're a professional actor. Talk to me about nerves.
Wow. Put me on the spot. I don't know. I mean, people get nervous. I think as long as you're, I don't know. I actually don't know what to say about that. If you're nervous, you're nervous. If you're not nervous, you're not nervous. But it doesn't matter really how you feel, as long as what you're saying is coming across, right?
Yeah.
And if you're nervous, I think just be nervous instead of pretending like you're not nervous in general.
Well, and I think nervous also keeps you on your toes, because if you were totally like, yeah, whatever, then you'd show up unprepared. You'd show up, just not into it. So I think a certain amount of nervousness is a good thing.
Find the happy medium between slovenly and basket case. Somewhere in there.
I'm assuming you didn't mean me with any of that.
Of course not.
Of course not. All right. So let me jump to the next banner. I'm loving these banners. Okay, hold on. There we go. So, and I think this is something that's actually really interesting to talk about. So just because we're live and it's on, we're streaming right now to 3 different platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, doesn't mean that there's not a process that happens before and after that involves editing, graphics, etc. So in this case, and me being a perfectionist, which is why I had to take that class with Carrie Ann Munstead about anti-perfectionism, I created a little thingy-dingy. Thingy-dingy, by the way, is a professional expression for anything that I can't remember right now. So I created a mask. And so if you look at the upper left corner, you're right. There is a graphic live community chat with Nina. On the other side, there's our logo. So that is stuff that you still are creating to give your chat a branding. And then after you're done with the live, it can be downloaded. You can edit it up. So my advice would be, if I am in the position to give advice right now, I would say take these talks and snibble them up into micro little content pieces. And from a half an hour talk with an expert or a 45-minute talk with an expert, you should be able, unless they fall asleep on you, to get at least 5 to 7, 8 clips out of it. So that's 7 days of social media content right there. So
yes. Speaking of live versus pre-produced content, why not marry the two and do live and then get some pre-produced content out of it?
Yep. And you know what it also is, and I've learned this from people that I've been fortunate enough to be invited onto their live streams and podcasts and vlog casts, how appreciative I am when they send me those little video clips that they edited so I can also promote. And it's a win-win-win. I get to have content that I didn't have to work for other than show up for a half hour to do an interview. And I get to promote myself. I get to promote them. Dub does an amazing job with that. I'm actually on a webinar with them this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. And it's for free, but you need to sign up for it. It's in my feed somewhere. It's in their feed somewhere. It's just really wonderful to have these pieces to use on your social media. So it's a win-win-win situation.
Yeah, I think, this is slightly off topic also, but on topic for the branding, editing, and graphics, not on the micro content topic, but just in terms of like the visual look of, what y'all are watching right now. There really is, we're using a tool right now to stream on 3 different platforms called StreamYard. I'm sure there are a lot of different tools out there, but one of the things that's cool about this is you really can customize your look. So Nina, I don't know, for everybody, do you want to play around with some of the video options that are available? Like we chose specifically for the frame that you're watching to look like this, but there were other options that we could have went with that we decided ultimately not to. So this is one. We felt like it was just kind of a little too messy, a little too close. You can't, I don't know.
You know what it also is? I mean, other than I designed the mask to not cover up your, I don't want you to be covered up, but it's also, I'm a filmmaker. So I'm just going to be, until my dying days, probably be married to horizontal video versus vertical video. So for me, that's just, it's an aesthetic thing.
Well, and it's not like that, with that version, now I'm really small. It's not like with the other version, you can really, of course you do. You can even really get the benefits of vertical video also because, even though the framing is vertical, the whole video itself is still horizontal. So it's not like you could take that other version and then put snippets of it on Instagram or what have you.
I mean, there's ways you can play around with that. I mean,
but it would be, extra work in post.
Right. But
although StreamYard probably has something for Instagram, I'm sure.
Yeah, we would have to ask Bryn about that.
That's a Bryn question.
That's a Bryn question. So yeah, no, I think that, I mean, if you certainly wouldn't go to IGTV with something like this, because that format is completely different. Oh, and Barbara just joined us.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Barbara. We're kind of we're shooting the breeze, but yes, if you want to listen back to it, just do it while you go for a walk with the dog or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a dog right now. Anyway, while you iron your shirts, there you go. Listening back to it. Robin's like, what the fuck is she talking about? Oops.
See, this is a great thing to bring up, actually, is when we closed our initial test live yesterday, Nina was trying to figure out how to close it, and then she did, but she was cussing up a storm at the same time. And very luckily, StreamYard actually clips 4 seconds after you stop going live, so none of that actually made it live. But there you go, talking about how you don't get to. There's no censoring when you're doing live video versus pre-produced.
No bleeping. No bleeping. All right, so I think we've gone through all of our topics. You promised me that would be enough for half an hour.
I said 20 minutes to 30 minutes, and it's been 16 minutes and 30 seconds, so it's very close.
It's very close. All right, so
well, what we should talk about, as we get to the end, is what I know we talked a little bit about what we're going to be doing going forward, also. But Instagram does not currently support streaming outside the app. That's from Bryn.
That's from
the Instagram is so. I mean, I know a lot of people love it. It's great for a lot of people, but it's not. It's just not a friendly platform. It doesn't make it easy for you to create content for when you're making content for other stuff.
I think where Instagram is brilliant.
It's a very selfish social media platform.
No, I think it's just, who's the user, right? I mean, and that's actually, interesting as well, is Instagram is, first of all, for visual people, more so than not, right? So retail does really well, design does really well, food does phenomenally well on, and beauty and health and wellness. I think Instagram is much more for the impulsive user. Insta is for Insta, says Bryn. I think it's more for the a user that is in there all the time, using it from all its different angles. We are much more thought out, branded thumbnails, and I mean, Bryn and we're driving ourselves nuts with all the different designs that we need within different formats. And does it go from IGTV to the stream? Does it go into stories? Do we save it in stories to then stay for up to 100 stories? There's a million ways to go about it. But we're so incredibly off topic right now. I want to bring it back.
Yeah. So going forward, what everybody who's watching and everybody who watches later should be on the lookout for is we're going to be inviting people in to do LinkedIn Lives with us on Wednesdays at this time, to do Q&As with different experts. Nina, I don't know, did you want to preview what we're going to be talking about in the next LinkedIn Live that we do, or are you keeping it a secret?
I'm keeping it secret because I do have something confirmed, but that's in 3 weeks because we're avoiding November 4th.
Yes, we will not be streaming next week.
Because American users will know, our listeners will know why. So because we think no one's going to watch anything but the news on the 4th of November. So I don't know whether I have somebody before the thing that I have on the 11th. But
that's not next week. That's 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. So the 11th is going to be really exciting. It's going to be actually 2 guests. And we will be talking about where video comes from, where it's been in the last 5 years and where it's going in the next couple of years. And I'm doing that with 2 video and film and news veterans, and I will be announcing that very soon. And I'm very excited about that conversation. That's going to be a lot of fun, and I think I'll be learning a shit ton load during that. Is shit allowed? I think it's better than the F word. Anyway, I hope kids are
like a sailor.
All right, I think it's time to wrap this up.
Wait, really quick, we had a question. I don't know if you want to address it now from Jill, which is, can you describe the process of getting approved to be able to conduct LinkedIn Lives?
Excellent question, Jill.
That is a great question. We should have thought of that.
Yeah, we should have thought of that. So Jill, I have one word for you. It's called perseverance. Perseverance. What?
Perseverance.
Perseverance. Okay. Thank God I have Robin. So
I don't know that we figured out tangential still, but
no, we're gonna have to like figure that one out, or I'll just never use that word again. So back to Jill. I wish I could tell you that LinkedIn asked me because I'm such an important voice on LinkedIn. They didn't. I applied, I think 3 times, and the first 3 times I wrote a big expose as to why I was worthy of getting the permission to do LinkedIn Lives. And then by the 4th time, I was like, F this. And I just filled in the form. And when they went to, what are you going to do with this? I'm going to say, I'm going to stream live. And what would you know it, I got approved. However, this time, and I don't know whether it was there the previous times or not, I did read the fine print, and the fine print said in order to even be considered for LinkedIn Live, I had to turn on double authentic. There's another one of those words.
Double authentication.
Yes, that what Robin said. And I did that, and that time I got approved. So maybe that did the trick. I don't know, but just keep trying. And if you Google, LinkedIn Live sign up form, it'll pop up right away. So that's what I can tell you to do. And once you get the permission, you have. It's either, 60 days or 6 weeks?
I think it's 60 days.
It's 60 days time for you to use it for the first time. If you do not, they will take the privilege away again. So be prepared to be approved so you can do something. And then you have to stream via a platform. So you cannot just stream directly from LinkedIn's whatever platform. So we chose StreamYard, and it's been a really great experience working with setting everything up. It's extremely easy and intuitive. So
thanks everybody for the comments. Just the last question from Jill. What is double authentication?
Oh, that is when you sign up for something and it asks you to verify that you are you by sending you a text to your cell phone or sending you an email, and you have to put in an additional code or an additional password.
Yeah, so it's just making sure that you are who you say you are. So just, I guess, so random people can't, stream without verification.
What kind of experience do you look for? I don't know. I mean, this is Jill asking what kind of experience is LinkedIn looking for in order to approve you for live. It's a mystery. It really is. I know some of the early LinkedIn livers were all heavy users of LinkedIn. And a lot of them were consultants and coaches. Life coaches in particular. I've seen a lot of them. So I don't think it's necessarily that they want people like us who are video people to be, on the forefront of LinkedIn Live. I think probably they're trying to spread it a little bit across different experiences and different voices. That's my guess, but that's just an educated guess, not more than that.
Yeah. Thank you for the questions, Jill.
That was awesome, Jill. I'm sorry I'm not seeing you, and I hope you're well. I hope the casting world is going fabulous. Jill is one of the most phenomenal casting agents ever. I used to work with her in my old days when I still did big productions, and she's an amazing person to work with. Great. I mean, so much fun to see all the questions, and I hope we addressed everybody's questions in this live, and there'll be more to come.
Yeah, so keep a lookout. I think the next one is scheduled, like you said, for November 11th.
Well, there might be one next week. Let's see.
There might be one next week. We'll see. So keep a lookout. Stay on your toes.
And yeah, stay on your toes. Number one, always do that. And number two, we will be announcing it in my feed. So of course, I'm assuming all of you are looking at my feed every day. If you do that, you will know when the next one is for sure.
That's great.
All right.
I think we're set, right?
Yay!
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Thank you. This was fun. See
Yeah, it
you
was.
in 1 or 3 weeks. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.